Now, 6:41, you know, temperatures out there, they're getting hot, a lot of sunshine. You know, a lot of people kind of heading out to the pool and the beach.
Yeah, but dermatologist Dr. Marc Inglese here to tell us we got to watch out for those powerful rays. We've already been picking your brain during the break about some of these tips and things maybe we were getting wrong. The biggest thing I was kind of surprised about is there's been a myth or a rumor that SPF 30 is the highest, and if you do anything higher than that, it's all just fake. But you're saying maybe not.
Correct. If you apply SPF 30 correctly, there's not a lot of difference between that and SPF 50 or 75 or 100. The problem is when you apply it incorrectly. If you use half the amount of sunscreen, you actually get a quarter of the SPF. So if you use 30 incorrectly and not put enough on, you only get about SPF 7, where if you use 100 incorrectly, you at least get 25 or 30.
So what's the right and wrong way of actually putting it on?
So the right way of putting it on in the studies, the best way to explain it is if it looks really goopy and white, you've put it on correctly. But no one puts it on that way. So the common reason that people get burned through their sunscreen is they're not putting enough on. And another common mistake is the spray sunscreens. When you use them, you shouldn't mist. You're supposed to actually hold it 2 inches from the skin and go back and forth, and then rub it in. I mean, you really need a thick layer of these to get the SPF that is claimed on the bottles.
But you know, I'll be honest, I'm guilty of this too. I think, okay, I got the sunscreen on. I'm good. Let's head out to the pool or the beach. But you say the sunscreen is actually only the third line of defense.
Correct. Because sunscreen is not foolproof. It washes off. It doesn't last. We always, again, say it's the third line of defense. Your first line of defense should be shade. Anytime you can be under a structure, if you're on a boat, you know, if you're under the canopy, if you're at the beach, hang out under the umbrella. The second line of defense is sun protective clothing, the long sleeve rash guards with the UPF 50 or the wide bucket hats. And then after that, any areas that are exposed, face, hands, feet, then you can put your sunscreen on. If you have sun protective clothing on, you actually use a whole lot less sunscreen every day because you're only applying it on the areas that don't have the clothing.
You know, speaking from experience, because I go literally from white to burn, and you know, sometimes I start to feel the burn, and at that point I realize like the burn is already set in. Is that necessarily true that once you start to feel it, you're probably beyond
Correct.
the burn?
Usually you start feeling it. It's too late because the burn will. There's two phases of the burn. First, you get a little bit of immediate redness, and then that kind of goes away. Then you get the delayed redness from the damaged skin cells, and that usually comes on several hours later.
Now, what about people who maybe they have damaged skin already, they're a little bit older, they haven't used sunscreen their whole life? What are some of those remedies they can do to try to stop the problem?
There's three things I tell people, especially that have, you know, chronic sun damage. Number one, it's not too late to start protecting your skin. The sun damage you get now can lead to you know, wrinkles and cancers in the future, and even if you're older, that can lead to further problems down the road, so it's never too late to start. Good moisturization of the skin can help keep it in good shape to help reduce the effects of sun damage. And then there's certain ingredients you can use, lactic acid moisturizers and vitamin A containing products to help kind of reverse the sun damage. And that's a good start.
Real quick, with about 20 seconds that we have left, a lot of people certainly getting sunburn. You always think of maybe aloe vera as a quick, cool relief there. Any other you know, best practices? A cold shower, warm shower? What do you do?
You know, the main thing with sunburn is once it's started, there's no way to stop it. So symptomatic relief is the big thing. If you're in pain, anything like Advil, Aleve, Motrin, Tylenol can help with that. And then certainly anything you put on that's cool. Aloe vera in the fridge works just as well as about anything else for reducing the pain.
Good advice, Dan. For more tips, check out our website as well. We've got some posted here, but the sunrise section on our website, WTXL.tv.
And thank you so much for being here. I know us pale people certainly appreciate this advice. So very good advice. And of course, yeah, have it all up on WTXL.tv. Check it out before you head out to the beach this weekend. Stick with us to get your money news coming up in just 2 minutes.